What's up, CAI-NC? My name is Tyner Tew and I am with GreenView Partners. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for our group, covering all of our North Carolina markets. What I'll be bringing you in the presentation will be a little highlight of some technological advances that have really influenced the landscape industry. The three main things I'll be covering will be battery-powered equipment, autonomous mowers, and drone technology. Hope you guys enjoy this presentation and let me know if you have any feedback. Thanks. What's up, everybody? Over the past 3 to 5 years, there's been a large kind of incline of technology that's entered the landscape marketplace. But what I'll cover today is really going to be highlighting 3 pieces of technology that we really use kind of on an everyday, every week basis. Starting here, we have a battery-powered hedge trimmer, the STIHL 65. I'm just showing you the charger to further emphasize that it is a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Here centered right in front of me is a Husqvarna Autonomous mower. Over here to my right is the DJI Mavic. We also have a DJI Mavic Pro, a larger unit drone. We use these weekly to where we're scanning our job sites, either for our existing customer base or for potential new customers. We're scanning some new job sites that Google Maps may not have updated in the last 6 months to a year or multiple years. So these really come in handy on new developments where we're actually able to scan a property, map it together, and then provide, as you'll see later in this presentation. What we have here are the steel hedge trimmers. The model is HLA 65. This is what they would consider more of their professional series hedge trimmer, meant more for the landscape contractors, not really for the appeal of the residential homeowner, even though there are some, if you want to buy it, you can, but it may be a little bit more gusto than what you need for your own personal house. These hedge trimmers are really intended for hours and hours of use each and every day. The battery here, this is the battery. This is the AP300. It's a lithium battery. 300 model can actually go for about 3 hours. That's what the 3 is for. 3 hours, 180 minutes, in that range. It all kind of depends on the charge, if it got maximum charge the night before, and then the use of it, how it's being used out in the field. But our team uses this 300 battery. It's a heavier battery, but the 100, the AP100, just doesn't quite, get us where we need to go during the day. From what we've heard from our teams, that when they're using this out in the field, this battery by itself, on one charge, can get somewhere around, if you start around 8 in the morning, can get you till about right after lunchtime. So again, it's a great battery. The charger, these chargers, everything's sold separately, the batteries and the charger, but if we want to, we can buy these as a tool kit. But this is the charger right here for the battery itself. And what we are doing and what other contractors kind of across the country are doing, we've looked and talked to a few of them, starting to set the trailers up to where they can get charged inside of the landscape trailers themselves and have an actual row of chargers. Different companies, DeWalt, STIHL, they'll sell charging kits or charging stations that actually have, I think, around 6 of these to an actual block of chargers. So they're really starting to come out with some ways and some methods to help us out as the contractors to where we can better perform for you on your properties. The gas powered shears, one of the biggest differences is the noise. So if you're imagining a gas powered machine, gas powered unit being on right now, it would be sitting at idle and you would hear that noise. Right now, other than the AC unit kind of next door to me, you're not hearing anything. And so if you're going from shrub to shrub or hedgerow to hedgerow, once you let off the trigger here, there's no more run time or anything like that. So again, a cleaner product as well for for us and our team, and for you as the customer or the property manager also. So one of the cool ways that we use drones kind of on an everyday or a weekly basis is we use these a lot in our design projects. We're able to fly these up, capture some bird's eye views that you may not commonly see, but may paint a lot better picture for you as the recipient of a design on what our ideas and our concepts will look like versus a photo that someone may take in the field with their iPhone, which is still a great way. We still do that a lot. But in a lot of projects, especially that are larger at scale, you just can't beat what these can offer from an imagery standpoint. They can take 4K pictures, 4K video, so you really get a high resolution image. Another great way that we use these drones is we have a software program that we use to fly these things up. We can have them on either an iPad or our iPhone. Our main drone pilot, Sean, he uses an iPad, I use my iPhone. And what we can do is fly these things up on a specific site, create a map or a boundary for these drones themselves, and once the GPS satellites pick this thing up, it flies on its own. We're just kind of there to make sure nothing happens to it. And then as it's flying around, it's taking hundreds of images of a specific site to where it can stitch those together to create one live map. And we can measure from those maps, we can create site elevation maps, we can create 3D models, which is a really cool feature. Especially if you're a newer community, you can kind of, if you're a representative for a Lennar or something like that, we can get a 3D image of a townhome or a single family home that's recently been built. We can also do some progress mapping as well. So again, these are really cool tools for using that. And here are some examples of how we fly that around and some screenshot videos of how that mapping system actually works. One of the cooler pieces of technology that we're using every week on several different job sites that we have is this Husqvarna 450X. This autonomous mower can mow up to an acre and a quarter. Its mowing height goes from 0.8 of an inch up to about 2.5 inches. So this one is really good for your warm season turf, Bermuda, zoysia, centipede. And this right here, this turf that's out on this lawn here at Center Green, is a zoysia turf. And this Automower has really worked out well for us here at this site. Again, it's unmanned, it runs on its own, it can charge within 1 hour, and in that 1 hour it can run for 200 and some odd minutes. So you get multiple hours of runtime just off 1 hour of charge of these. So just like your Roomba or an autonomous vacuum cleaner you may have at your home, this operates in the exact same way. So it kind of runs in a randomized pattern. It will not leave what people are kind of traditionally used to seeing with mow striping or anything like that. It's going to be a lot more uniform of cut, a lot more uniform kind of carpet look to the finished product of this turf. So one of the really great benefits from these autonomous mowers is the safety factor that it provides for us. As it's operating on a site, if it runs into an obstacle, it will slowly encounter that obstacle, lightly bump it. If it senses some resistance, it will actually turn and keep going until it finds its path of least resistance. Again, it's bounded by kind of like an electric wire. You may have an electric dog fence or something like that. That's exactly kind of how this boundary is created for these Automowers. It creates a nice safe zone for these things to operate. As it's operating as well, it doesn't have what you're used to seeing from a blade standpoint on a traditional mower. It's actually got very small razor blades, probably about that big. I'd say an inch and a half. It's right here. There's several of these that kind of spin around, and as this operates, again, it's a very safe unit to where if If it's lifted up, it will automatically shut off. From a theft standpoint, if these units are taken off of the site that they are housed, we will get an alert and we can actually locate these units. They have GPS built into them to the precise location that someone may be housing them if they steal it. And I'll close in saying I really appreciate everyone's time. I hope that you were able to learn a few new things about what we're doing in our industry and what our company is looking at implementing more on a wide scale basis. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is on the screen, tyner@greenviewpartners.com, or call me, 919-801-8681. I'll answer any questions that I can, and I will gladly say I don't know to something, but I will do the research to find the answer that you're looking for as well. Again, thank you for your time, and we really appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity from CAI-NC, and have a great day.